Hi, I'm Chef Charlotte. My favorite Texas tradition is making tamales. Now, H-E-B does carry a line of ready-to-eat tamales in store, but if you want to start your own family tradition, I'm going to show you how to make a simple pork tamale that you can get your whole family involved in. For this recipe, here are the ingredients that you're going to need. 1 8-ounce package of dried corn husks, 4 serrano chilies, 4 garlic cloves, 1 pound of tomatillos, husked and rinsed, 1 onion, 2.5 pounds of pork carnitas, 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 cups of chicken broth, 2/3 cup chopped cilantro, 1 package of pre-made masa, salt, pepper, and cumin to taste. To get started, we're gonna need to soften our corn husks. To do that, we're gonna place them into a pot or bowl of cold water. And then we're gonna use a weight, so a bowl or plate, to make sure they're completely submerged. You're gonna wanna let them soak for 3 hours to 24 hours, so you're gonna need to plan ahead for this. The first step in making a tamale filling is making your tomatillo sauce. Start by preheating your broiler to medium-high heat. I've placed a piece of foil onto a heavy baking sheet, and I've placed my tomatillo, chilies, onions, and garlic onto the foil. You're gonna place the sheet pan into the oven under the broiler for about 5 to 7 minutes, turning once. What you want to look for is nice black, brown spots on the tomatillos, onions, garlic, and peppers. Now I'm going to add the roasted veggies to a blender or food processor. This tomatillo sauce is really going to give that pork that zing and that punch that it needs. So to this, I'm going to add a little bit of liquid. So I'm using chicken broth, but you can use water or a little bit of beer if you'd like. Add about 1/2 cup. And I'm also going to add cilantro, and you can go ahead and put the whole bunch in there, stems and everything. You're just gonna blend until smooth and set aside. Now we're gonna make the pork for our tamale filling. So I've got a heavy bottom pot over medium-high flame. To this, I'm going to add olive oil. While our olive oil heats up, I'm going to season our pork. So I've got some cumin, black pepper, and some salt. Season generously on all sides. I can see that our pot is hot and our oil has heated, so I'm going to add the pork to the pot. Oh, good sizzle. You're gonna cook the meat 3 to 4 minutes per side. What we're looking for is a really nice dark brown crust. Okay, so we've got a really great sear on all sides of our pork. You can see that nice golden brown color. I'm gonna add in our tomatillo sauce directly to the pan. We're gonna reduce the heat to a simmer, and at this point you can add a little bit of liquid to the pot. I'm gonna add a touch of chicken stock to it. You can add water or beer if you'd like. I'm just gonna add a little bit more liquid. We're gonna cover the pot. We're gonna cook this for about 3.5 hours or until fork tender. The pork should shred nicely. So let's test and see if they're done. Oh, look how nicely it comes apart. These are definitely fork tender. So now we're gonna shred our pork. So we're gonna take the pork and we're gonna add it to a separate bowl, and we're gonna shred it with a fork. It just falls apart so easily. And you're gonna wanna shred it to small pieces. You don't want too many large pieces because you're gonna roll this into the tamale. I'm gonna add a little more of our braising liquid to the bowl to keep it nice and moist. Now that you've cooked your tomatillo sauce and the pork is ready, it's time to assemble our tamales. I've got a tamale steamer right in front of me. To this, I'm gonna add some water. I'm gonna turn the heat to medium-high heat. You want a nice steam, but you don't want a rolling boil. I'm gonna place some corn husks in the bottom of the insert, and this is gonna help prevent any excess evaporation. But you should note that you might have to add more water during the cooking process. So now that we've got our water in our pot and our corn husks covering the insert, we're gonna add an inverted bowl to the bottom of the pot. You're actually gonna lean your tamales up against the bowl, and this is gonna help them stand while they cook. So now that our pot's ready to go and our water is starting to steam, we're actually gonna roll some of our tamales. I'm gonna take 1 corn husk and I'm gonna make some threads, and we're gonna use these threads to secure and hold our tamales together. Tear about 1/4 inch threads. You're gonna take the corn husk and you're going to put the masa on the inside or the smoother side of the husk. So you'll take about a tablespoon of masa and spread it on the inside of the husk. Just like that. And then we're going to take our filling, and you're going to put about a tablespoon directly down the center. We're going to roll our tamale over the filling, gently press, roll over, fold the bottom, and then tie with our thread. So now that we've got our tamales prepared, we're actually going to cook them. We're going to place them in our steamer, open side up. And we're going to lean them against that bowl that we placed in the center. We're going to cover them with a lid, and we're going to turn our heat to medium-high heat and allow them to steam. You're going to cook your tamales between 45 minutes to 1 hour, depending on the thickness of the tamale. You can keep your cooked tamales warm in an electric roaster, and you can serve them with wonderful things like chili and shredded cheese, or any condiments that you choose. So now you know how to make your own tamales, and you can start your own family tradition.